Welcome to the Bachelor Breakdown, where we break down the game of life.
Especially the games that men play.
I'm your girl, Erica.
I'm Ashley. Let's break it down.
Today, we're going to be discussing men that want the ring back. What?
Child, I can't. This is okay. Here's the thing. This is what you can't make up about men.
Yes.
They hit you with this play. They
Mhm.
ask you to marry them.
Mhm.
In my opinion, 9 times out of 10, they mess up
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the engagement gets called off. And then they want the ring back.
They want the
Why?
ring back.
Why?
Huh.
Why? I would never.
You
I would
wouldn't want
never.
no. Well, this is my opinion. This is my opinion on this. Okay, I feel whoever did wrong, because
Mhm.
sometimes no one does anything wrong,
Right.
and you just decide it's not for us, and I think whoever did wrong gets to keep the ring, right? So if she cheats on him or something happens that, then she should give it back 100%. If he does something, I think she should be able to keep that. But ultimately, I feel the dude should get the ring back. Just because for me, I don't want anything from you.
Mm.
All back. I am not stuck on you. All
Mm.
right. I have no emotional connection to you. I do not need to pawn it. I don't need to do anything. I don't want anything to do with you or anything that you gave me or anything that symbolized your fake commitment. Bye bye. Take it. That's my opinion.
Okay, well, we differ on this
Okay. All right.
because I feel like if it was given to me,
Mhm.
right? The intention was we're going to get married, whatever. I feel like anything that was given to you in a relationship is
Mhm.
yours to keep
Sure.
and to decide and determine what you want to do with on your own. Like,
Mhm.
so the ring, I'm not giving you your ring back. Sorry. I'm I'm not going to do it because I
Yeah.
feel like it's mine.
Mhm.
Once it changes possession, once you
Mhm.
give me something, it's
Mhm.
mine. And I
Yeah.
feel like what happens in relationships
Mhm.
is that when things are fine and you're in
Oh, that's
love
great.
and you're celebrating things, or a man wants to be kind or a woman wants to be kind,
Mhm.
and you gift someone something, it's theirs. But a lot of times people think, I give you this as long, it's conditional, right? I'm going to give
Mhm.
you this as long as we're together. But none
Mhm.
of that is communicated.
Mhm.
So if this is only mine while we're together, it's not truly a gift.
Mhm. But what if the other person does the person wrong? Because now you have women that are also, proposing. So for me,
Which
if
is,
I
I think
propose,
is, I don't know. Would you
this is
propose?
that's
'Cause I'm
another
not proposing.
episode. No, I would not. Okay. Because me, I'm someone I think marriage is beautiful, but you know my opinion. I'm not someone who cares about getting married.
Right.
We could have a ceremony. I will wear a ring
Same.
proudly, but
Same.
legally, I want to be in a relationship I feel where we're always going to want to show up as our best selves. And I think that sometimes when people get married, I think they get really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also a lot of women, men and women, get stuck with someone that as time changes, maybe they change or they didn't know them fully. And now you're stuck because it's not so easy to just say, let's break ties.
Right.
Now you're legally tied in. I don't want that. I want to be with you because I want to be with you 100% because I'm crazy about you because you're my best friend, because you're my partner, and I'm committed 100% to you because of you, not because of a piece of paper.
Right.
And if things change, because things change, people change, I want us to have a clean slate. It's not working anymore. We cut ties. I don't want to go through paperwork. I don't want to go through legal stuff.
Right.
It is what it is. It's not working. But I will be your ride or die. I will be committed. That's
But
me.
are you giving the gifts back?
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, it depends. This is the thing. This is the thing, Ashley.
Okay.
It depends on the situation. Like if he was not doing well financially, I'd give it back. Right? If I wasn't doing well financially, I'd keep it. I mean, I'm just saying stuff that people don't wanna say. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
It's true.
it's true,
You
it's
know?
true, it's
Where I
true.
am now, I'm great, so of course I'd give him back. I don't need something that you worked hard to get, and if it didn't work out with us, it's yours, buddy. Like, take it. It didn't work out. But if he cheated, if he hurt me, if he did something that betrayed my trust and the commitment that I gave him, this is collateral damage. So that's why I said it's case by case for me.
Well, it's standard for me. I'm not giving you nothing back. I'm not giving you anything back, especially a ring. And I think it's very tacky for men to ask for a ring back. And I know people are going to hear this and be like, "You're just," I'm gonna be all type of names, baby. But you know what it is, what it is. Listen, I think it's very tacky for men to ask for a ring back because it's like Jay-Z said, if you can't afford to buy it twice, you can't afford it.
Ooh, that was so good.
Jay-Z said
Drop,
that, baby. Jay-Z
drop
let
the
us know
mic.
if you cannot afford to buy it twice,
Wow,
you
I haven't
can't
heard it.
afford it. You shouldn't be buying it. And
That's
anything
so
that changes possession
good. Wow.
is no longer yours. And I think people have this
Wow.
delusional expectation that as long as it goes with conditions. It's conditional love. As long as we're in a relationship, as long as we're in love, as long as you are giving me what I need, you can
Mhm,
have these things. But as
mhm,
soon as you don't, I want
mhm,
my stuff back.
mhm,
And I think we've seen it play out plenty of times in the media with celebrities.
mhm.
I think recently Ben Simmons wanted his $1 million engagement ring back that he, gave to his
First
fiance.
up, why would you do $1,000,000? I don't care how
I
much
don't
money
care how
you
much money.
have.
Uh-uh.
That to me is just silly.
It's
Like,
silly.
who wants to walk around like this all day?
And
Hey, girls, you're a target. You look
you're
silly.
a target and you can't end up wearing it. And I even know people that
Yeah.
have real $1 million rings
Yes.
that get fake one, like replicas made just for that reason. So it's like
And then
why
someone's
were you
gonna
why do you
shoot
have
you
something you
for a
can't
fake.
wear?
But then they're gonna shoot you for the
For
fake.
the fake. Yeah.
It's not worth it.
I just don't know. Like if you can't afford to buy it twice, you shouldn't buy it. One.
That's
And
a good
two,
point.
9 times out of 10, he was probably the reason why the engagement is not going to evolve into a marriage. Let the girl keep
I
the
mean,
ring.
that's true. I'm not pointing fingers, but I mean, I'm hearing some stories about women are wilding out too now these
Oh,
days.
these girls out here, honey, the city girls
Woo.
got them going.
Oh my
They got
god.
them going. They got them living their best life.
Because I mean, I've met guys. I actually like don't date at all. I probably should, but when I was dating, which was not often, I'd meet these guys that came with so much like not baggage, but like they were very sensitive because they had been in situations that we as women talk about. They had been
Really?
in situations with females. And I have friends that are currently dating. They tell me all these stories about these great guys who met these women who cheated on them, and now they're the single dad paying her
Really?
alimony while she's with the new dude. I hear it all the time. So I'm just saying, unfortunately, both parties are not doing what they should.
Well,
Not all,
yeah,
but I'm
I
saying
agree. And in that, like,
in that case, he should get his stuff back.
in that case, yeah, okay, I do believe that. So
I just believe in
if
being fair.
whoever is at fault
Exactly.
should have to bear the burden of losing
100%.
their stuff. Yeah,
Because there's a lot of good guys
I
out there
agree.
that just, you know,
I agree, and I have a different perspective on. I don't know. eh, I know. Maybe I do know some women
what?
who are here wilding out
That's what
in
I'm
their
saying.
marriage, but I feel like my experience was different. I'll
Mhm.
say that my
Yeah.
experience was very different, and I was never married, but I was engaged.
Mhm.
And I met my ex when I was 17 and he was 18. So before he had anything, before I had anything, like we were creating this life together.
Mhm.
And I know like I ultimately sacrificed my career, my earning potential, like opportunities for myself for this relationship. and we were never married. So there was no guarantee of like financial security for me and my kids. Like, never. I was just out here rolling the dice, believing in love.
That's hard. That's hard.
Um, but I'm also I'll say I'm very smart, right?
Mhm.
I
You
knew
are.
I wasn't married. I knew that if shit hit the fan and it all went down, like I was really like risking my well-being and my ability to meet my safety needs and security needs. So, one thing about my ex that I will give him a lot of credit for was the
Mhm.
fact that he respected me enough to put any gift in my name.
That's great.
For
Yeah.
example, and I always like that is one thing I advocated for. Like if he bought me a car,
Mhm.
I need that car to be in my name.
But
Like
you were smart. A lot of women don't even think about
a
that.
lot of women don't, and feel like a lot of women get the bad end of the deal because they don't advocate for themselves and they don't create, I guess, certain boundaries in their relationship. And I think it goes hand in hand. Like I met my ex when he had nothing and I had nothing. We were young, we were teenagers, so he knew like I wasn't in the relationship for any material things. However, if you buy me some, he was also a little controlling and needed to be the more powerful partner. Um, but he did respect the fact that when I said, if you buy me a car, please put it in my name. And he did. So it was my asset. And when we were engaged, my ring got stolen. Yes, my ring was stolen. And of course, being responsible financially, there was insurance on the ring. And when he got the insurance payout, he gave me half. Mostly, I think, because of guilt. He knew he had asked me to marry him to be a placeholder in his life. And I didn't know this at the time. Like, I thought we would get,
What do you mean by placeholder?
he knew he didn't want to lose me.
Mm.
And he knew coming into the relationship, like, I've always been very like vocal and transparent about what I wanted. And entering into a relationship at 17 and 18, I said
Oh,
to him, like,
wow. You guys were that
we
young?
were that young. I was 17, he was 18. I said to him, like, I want to be married before I have children. I
Okay.
don't want to raise children without that commitment.
Mhm.
Um, like, he knew how intelligent I was. Like, I wanted to be a doctor, all of
Mhm.
the things. So I communicated with him
Yeah.
very openly. Like, this is where I see myself.
Yeah.
And he convinced me to have our first child before we were married. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Compromise, right?
Mhm.
Which you should never do. You should never compromise about children ever.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know any better, I was young.
You were just in love and
I was
young.
young. I was 20 years old. Fine.
Mhm.
I had no reason not to believe him.
Yeah.
So we had our first child and then we got engaged.
Mhm.
And then we had our second child because then his reasoning was, well, we're engaged, we're gonna get married. Like it's
Mhm.
been so long since we've
Mhm.
had our child, like they're 4 years apart. They're gonna be 4 years apart. Like we need to have another one. Like, okay, fine. Well, we
Mhm.
were engaged at that point. But I
Mhm.
think he knew what he wanted.
Yeah.
He knew what my non-negotiables were.
Mhm.
But I don't think he ever had any intention on being married, whether it was to me or anyone else.
Mm.
And I think he pacified me with an engagement ring to get what he wanted and to keep me,
Rather than just being honest with you, because
rather
it's
than
not.
just being honest. Like rather than, I wish she would have just said, "Yo, I don't want to get married. No, we
Yeah.
can be together, but I never want to
Mhm.
get married."
And
But
honestly, I'm sure you would have him just being honest with you because not everyone wants marriage. I know you, if
yeah,
you're committed in love, you would have said, "Well, okay, how do we make this work?"
right,
Right?
for both of us, exactly.
You just want the honesty.
Just we needed a little bit of we just needed a little bit of honesty, but
Yeah.
instead of being honest, he gave me a ring to pacify me and to keep it going, right? So when the ring was stolen, I think it was a little bit of guilt on his part, like,
Mhm.
I'm never gonna marry this girl. Let me
Mhm.
just, I'm gonna give a half of this. of what the ring was, of what the insurance policy was. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. So he did. So
Most guys wouldn't, so that
most guys, most
even
guys
with the
wouldn't.
guilt, they wouldn't do
But
it.
that's where I feel like I do
Like,
have to
what
give
are we doing?
my ex some credit. That's where I feel like um that the guilt that he had for what he
Mhm,
knew he was doing and I didn't know what he was doing kicked
mhm.
in
Yeah.
because he really couldn't. That's how he showed like love, like like makeup gifts and
Mhm, mhm.
when people feel guilty, they give to you in ways that they know how.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd say. But all that to say,
Mhm.
you can never be really compensated for
Your
your
time.
investment, for what you invest in relationships. And I feel like people don't value
Mhm.
the sacrifice and the compromise and the lost opportunities. People think that,
Especially as a female. This is another, episode,
yeah,
and that's why I'm single today, and it's hard for me to say I wanna get back out there because I've had relationships where so much time was lost, and as a female, you have that clock ticking
hmm,
that the men don't have,
yeah,
and so when you waste my time and you're not intentional with me, you really put me in a bad position as a female that I can't control,
yeah,
and that's why I don't care what kind of relationship you are in. I don't care, whether it's female, female, man, man, men and female. Be intentional with your partner.
yes,
Be intentional. Be honest. Have those tough conversations. It's not only about respecting them, it's about respecting yourself. That is
absolutely.
the number one thing you have got to do. And the thing is, I've met guys and dated guys in the past that were very much so upfront about, I'm a bachelor.
Mm.
I have no interest right now. I just want to have fun.
Mm.
I just want to go out and have fun, make friends, do whatever. They were so intentional about where they were in their lives. And even though it wasn't going to work out long term, I respected them so much. And we
Yeah.
can still talk today and have
And it
conversations.
was probably fun. Like
It was so fun
fun.
because he put his cards out on the plate. He wasn't trying to trick me that
Yeah.
this guy could be a potential partner for me that's ready to settle down, not necessarily marriage, but wants to be 100% committed together.
Yeah.
He was saying, "Hey, I'm looking to have fun." So
And
guess
that's
what?
it.
I respected them so much more
Yeah.
because they were intentional. They didn't waste my time.
And that's what I'm like. If you have been in because here's the thing, a lot of people that share with me, a lot of people that I know, they weren't engaged for. They didn't meet a man and a year later they are engaged and a year later they're married. No, they met a man and they were probably together for 4, 5, 6 years. Then they got engaged and they stayed engaged for another, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. So at this point, you're almost 10 years into a relationship, and the engagement gets called off, and he wants the ring back. No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no, no,
no.
no, no. In
It's
those
collateral
situations,
damage
no.
at this point. No,
100%. No.
no,
I agree. I agree. And like
no.
being
Because
honest,
I feel like relationships bankrupt women in more ways than they
God,
bankrupt
so many ways.
men.
So many ways.
Energetically, like you said, losing your time. Like we don't, all the things that are intangible and valuable that men don't value are important to women. Like,
100%.
and when you lose that, it's like, no, money doesn't make up for it.
No.
But divorce, everybody thinks like, because they hear these stories of like Jeff Bezos and these extremely wealthy men who get divorced and have to pay their spouses, settlements of like that are just ridiculous.
Mhm.
Everyone thinks like that has created delusion in people's mind where people think when you get divorced, women get the money. No,
Oh, no. Oh, no. I would
divorce
not say that.
bankrupts women. Like,
Oh my gosh. And now the dynamic is changing too. I have several friends that are the breadwinners, okay? Because I don't mean this in a mean way. I think men today are not. Basically, I'm not settling, and even though I say I'm not open to marriage, if it was the right guy and it meant a lot to him, I would. But until I meet someone like my dad that is a ride or die provider for his family, emotionally, everything, it's not worth it for me.
no,
And what they don't understand I'm kind of losing my train of thought here real quick. What were we saying? I'm losing it because I was so passionate. I like blacked out. Wait, what were we saying, Ashley?
How marriage bankrupts women.
Okay, that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. So it bankrupts us, right? Because of the time and stuff. So what that, I've lost my thing again. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna let you go because I lost it because I was so passionate. Like I said, I blacked
No,
out.
it just like we women lose out so much, and because we live in a male dominated society and
That's what I
male.
was gonna say. I don't mean to, but I'm gonna lose it if I don't say it. So the thing is this: it's like this. Okay, dynamics between men and women have changed.
Yes,
The
yes,
men today are not. They're not our fathers.
no,
I'm just. I don't mean that in a mean way, but they are not.
no,
Okay,
no.
they want this. We both contribute. I'm fine with that, but they want this. We both contribute. I can stay home with the kids, this and that, all that kind of stuff. It's a little different. And that's fine. If I have friends that are like, no,
Yeah,
I want to be out in the streets making the money, being the breadwinner. That
yeah,
works for them.
yeah,
And he's someone who's very much so like, I'm totally fine letting my wife be the badass. I'll take care of the home. I think that's beautiful when they're both on the same page, right?
yes.
But I have so many friends that got involved with these guys, and these guys now have them paying alimony.
Mhm.
One friend, they have two kids. She's paying child support and alimony to her ex.
I don't know. I don't know because I feel
I'm not
like
down for it.
yeah, I don't want to say like women shouldn't have to pay anything. But I do want to my perspective is
Case by case.
from my own personal experience is like I know what I sacrificed for my relationship. And I
That's true.
know like if it hadn't been there, I'd be fine. Like I'd be fine. I'd be someone's anesthesiologist, baby,
Mhm,
living my
mhm,
best life.
right?
Um and I know what I can't get back. Like I can't get
You
back
can.
the 18 years of my life,
Mm-mm,
and I can't walk into a corporation and say, "Hi, this is what I want to do. This is how much money I need to make to support myself and my children." No
mhm.
one is going to give me a position like that. No
Yeah.
one. I can't go get it.
And I can't get back my hips from when I was 25 looking at
No,
me.
no. And I
They
even
think
have a
it's
friend
all
who is the director of admissions at a university, and she's like, you know what? I hate hiring stay at
Mhm.
home moms because
She
when
said
they
that.
come back into the workforce, they've missed so much like um,
Mm.
adult conversation that all they want to do is talk. And so there is this
Preach to that
barrier.
too.
Yes, because there's this barrier to how do I get my life back after
Yeah.
I've been in this role
Mhm.
and not only like dedicated my life to this relationship, but also been somebody's basically domestic laborer for years.
Mhm.
And now that that relationship is ending, they're not placing or he or she are not placing any value on it,
Mhm.
and I'm basically fucked.
Yeah.
I,
Literally.
I'm I'm I have no assets.
Mhm.
I can go and get a job, but it's not going to support me and my kids the same way. And I know so many women who are like men, women. I actually heard this on the radio the other day. They were having this discussion. A woman said, once the relationship is over, women should just go back to their life before. Well, it's not that simple. I can't go back to my life before, but my life before it was just me. And my life before, like I have grown and evolved over these years, but I'll also missed out a lot of opportunity to grow in my career. So I can't go into the workforce in the position that I would like to be in, where I should be, because of the role I played in this family dynamic over the past 15, 18 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard for women for women. Now, I don't know too many men that I don't
Mhm.
have a lot of friends that take care of that have had that dynamic where the
I
man
couldn't
has
do it.
stayed home.
I couldn't.
Um, I don't, I know one woman who's a doctor that
Mhm.
had that happen and she had to pay her husband alimony.
Mhm. Mhm. And I shouldn't say like just because they're a man they shouldn't get the alimony. I'm just saying once again, I'll preface this because people will be coming at us and having
Listen,
something to say. Case by case,
case by case.
case by case. Because I'm sure there's men that were just as committed to the family and missed out on opportunities. And I hate to say this, but it's going to be easier for that man that missed those opportunities to get back out there in the grind than the
100%.
woman.
100%.
And that's just reality, whether
Hmm.
you like it or not.
Yeah. But I do believe that because we live in a male dominated society, more people are willing to adopt the belief that women should just figure it out
Oh, 100%.
and that
Mm-hmm.
men don't have to be responsible for their part
Mm-hmm.
in the um, unwinding of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
if a man leaves the relationship, the
Mm-hmm.
engagement, the marriage, because whatever reason, like he
Mm-hmm.
just wants to go have another family or he just wants to go live another life, fine. But I don't necessarily believe that because you choose to go do something different, that
Mm-hmm.
everybody's life has to change. And I know
Mm-hmm.
people are going to hear that and be like, you know, they have a lot to say about me after this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you
They
make a choice, you are responsible for the choices you've made.
100%. But ultimately, our choices affect those around us.
Everybody. And we have this
100%.
individualized attitude that I can go do whatever I want. Yeah, you can. But you
100%.
still have responsibilities. It's like you
Uh-huh.
have a child, you can't just walk up and leave that child.
Mm-mm.
You have a responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And it's fine if you want to leave if it's not working, but it's how you do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
how you do it.
And they say people, when you are getting divorced or ending
Mhm.
a relationship, you really find out who people are
Oh, 100%. 100%.
because they change. It's like that's why when you are starting a new relationship or entering or engaged or about to enter into marriage, y'all really should have some tests and trials because you really find out who people are when they
100.
don't get their way or when money is involved.
Mhm.
People will they act completely different.
Mhm. 100%.
And if we go to the scouting report, if we go to the stats on this issue,
Mhm. Which I
the issue
love.
of being should you give the engagement ring back
Mhm.
if your engagement is ended, according to an article on eventsure.com,
Mhm.
research shows that there are over 115,000 weddings per day worldwide.
Wow.
The average engagement is 12 to 18 months, and about 20% of all weddings are called off after engagements.
Wow. That's before they even get to the altar. 20%.
20%. And some of the reasons are uncertainty about the relationship, pressure to get married, unresolved issues, a cheating partner, decisions made in a rush, difference in opinions.
Mhm.
And they say most women support giving the ring back.
I would give it back. I,
I'm
I
not
don't
giving.
want any,
I
I
ain't
don't
giving.
want I don't
I
want
ain't giving the
anything.
ring back.
Like I said, case by case. If he did
Case
something
back.
really bad, then I'm keeping it. But otherwise, I'm the type I'm like, I don't need you. I don't want you. Like go away. You know what I mean? I'm like, go away. But case by case.
Case by case. I'm not. I don't. I'm not giving it back. It's mine. Once it
Mm-hmm.
changes possession, it's
Mm-hmm.
mine, and I can do with it what I want.
I feel you. I totally understand that perspective. I really do. I really do.
I don't know. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
again, it goes with conditions. What
Mm-hmm.
was it given on the condition that anything in a relationship given on the condition that as long as we're together and we're happy and you're
Mm-hmm.
mine,
Yeah.
it's yours. But
Yeah.
as soon as you're not, then does it go back? And I think that a new way to approach relationships and engagements and even dating, if you're dating intentionally or seriously, is
Mhm.
to
Have those conversations.
make have these conversations, make
Mhm.
like be honest, be transparent. And I think for a lot of women, we don't say, like, we just want to be desired, we want somebody to like us,
100%.
we want somebody to love us, we want somebody to
Mhm.
commit to us, so we ignore
Mhm.
the responsibility of having these hard conversations. We ignore the fact that no, we should be looking out for ourselves because we're probably like in life we have to look out for ourselves. We can't
Oh my
go
gosh,
with the
you have to.
flow or
No.
be agreeable or
And once again, that's the most important decision of your life.
Right.
And what I always tell my girlfriends is I think marriage is beautiful. I think wanting marriage is beautiful. I get it. But don't wait for someone to choose you.
Mm-mm.
Make sure you're also choosing. You know what I mean? I think like
Yeah.
someone said in dating, guys are, waiting for the girl to like give them the okay so that they can choose, you know, the girls kind of choose the guy when you're dating or whatever.
Hmm.
But when it comes to long term and like marriage, women, we wait for the men to choose us.
Absolutely. And we
And
try to be as
right,
agreeable and
even
as
when you know he's not worth it.
even, yeah. Because like
And
the
that's the problem.
society's pressure of all my friends are getting married and having babies and I'm not, and
He's
like I
older.
just want someone to commit to me. I want to be married. Like women,
We
we
tie
miss
that with
a
our
lot
self-worth.
of things. Like we ignore a lot of red flags.
Yeah.
We don't have the hard conversations that we need to about like responsibilities in the relationship and what happens if it doesn't work out. And I know women that have been a few days out from getting married and they haven't discussed the prenup, and then a man hits them with, "Oh, I need you to sign this prenup."
Mm.
When that's a discussion that should be had when you get married. I mean,
Yeah.
when you get engaged. When you get engaged, you should be having
Oh,
discussions about a
that's
prenup.
smart. I
A
mean, you
woman
gotta
needs
have
a
those
lawyer, a
conversations.
man needs a lawyer. Like you don't
100%.
this because ultimately marriage is a contract.
100%.
It's a business deal, baby. And
Yeah.
people don't want to acknowledge that they think you can just live off of love. No,
No,
not when the government is involved.
love
You
does
need
not.
an attorney.
It's true. I have a girlfriend that, rushed in the marriage. She was feeling older. People were like, this is what annoys me too. And this is another episode altogether. And I think we discussed this in one of our episodes already, actually, which is, you know, as a woman at my age, people say, "Well, why is she single? Something must be wrong with her.
Oh,
She must be
yes.
crazy."
Yes.
I can tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with me. The problem with me is I'm too sane. I'm too self-aware. I'm too aware of what I know is going to work for me and what I need to be fulfilled in a relationship. And until I get that, it's not worth it.
No,
No one is worth my peace.
no,
It's not,
no.
you know? But with that said, and I'm losing my thought again. Um, with this is that we need to stop putting ourselves in boxes
Mhm.
and having this herd mentality
Mhm.
that because everyone is getting married or we're at that age we should. No, you have to do what's best for you. You have to be on your time, line. There's some people that, I don't agree with this, but there's some people that say, I want to be married, but I don't want to be in a relationship where I can't seek other partners. Now, me, I could never do it. But I know people that works for their relationship.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is don't go by the mold. Do what's best for you and find someone where you guys are on the same page. And then have
Yeah.
those tough conversations. Understand that things can change. Because I've had friends that, because of their age, because they wanted kids, they rushed into something,
Mhm.
they didn't know the person. 3 years later, they're still finding, little roly polies coming up from under, the wood
Mhm.
beam that they didn't know was there,
Yeah.
and now they have a kid with this person. Another woman I know, she married someone, didn't do a prenup or do her due diligence in there, and now she's paying off his, 100 something thousand dollars in student loans, because when you marry someone, you take on their debt. So I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that
It's
you
a
have
lot of
to
stuff.
really do your due diligence.
It's like I like to refer to it as reading the terms and conditions. Like really reading the fine print, really knowing the person that you're being in a relationship with or you're entering into a marriage with, and discuss all the things. And I think a lot of women fear discussing all the things because they don't want to seem needy or difficult. And here's the thing: if you want to be with someone who thinks you're needy and difficult, who you have to shrink, who you have to ignore your needs for, what your values, your beliefs, what's important to you for, that's a red flag. It's not the right person for you.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. And you will end up on the wrong side or the bad end of the business deal because again, marriage is a business deal.
It's
And
100%.
you don't want to find out, you know, how uncompromising your partner is when
Mhm.
you're going through a divorce.
Oh my gosh,
Find
no.
out before.
No, no. And I always say be willing to wait, because when you're willing to wait for the right person, this is for men and women, because I've met a lot of great men where their lives were ruined
Yes.
by picking the wrong partner, and
Yes.
that's vice versa.
Vice
And
versa.
the thing is that you have to be willing to wait, because I always say, hey, you might be close to like 40 or close to 35, and you feel like, oh my God, everyone else is married and this and that, and people might be saying things. But guess what? I'd rather wait for the right person so
Yeah.
that at 50 or 45, I'm not going through a divorce and then starting over.
Starting over. Exactly.
I'd rather wait maybe a couple more years to find my person and have them for the rest of my life,
Yes.
to do life with, to have that friendship with. But I'm willing to wait because I have faith.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I trust myself and I have respect for myself.
Yeah.
That's
So here are 3 tips in our in-game adjustments for your relationships. If you are newly engaged or almost to the altar, 3 things you can do just to make sure that you are on the same page about rings and gifts and divisions of assets. Um, be honest. Discuss who gets what. If the relationship ends, and I know people like, I always hear people say, I don't want to plan for a divorce. I just want to be married. Baby, you better have a plan, because you don't want to find out in the end that you are shit out of luck. So make a plan. It's because it 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 is real. Like, not everything lasts forever. Be real with yourself. Make a plan. Who gets what? Are the gifts conditional or unconditional? If we're together, these are my things. If this ends, these are not my things. These are your things. Be clear, be transparent, and anyone that you are entering into a relationship with should not have a problem having this discussion. Okay? Um Discuss like how things will be reconciled, houses, kids, cars. Don't go with the flow. Entering into a marriage, enter into any contract, if you wouldn't form a contract with your most mistrusted family member, if you wouldn't go with the flow with them, don't go with the flow with the person that you enter into. I know you think love is going to save you in the end, but it's not when it comes down to trying to unravel your life, right?
yep.
You are not the same when the relationship ends.
Yep.
Forever doesn't always apply. You
Mm-mm.
need to be responsible for your decision and make the most informed decision that you can in the beginning. Don't go with the flow.
100%. So well said.
It's all about communication,
Mm-hmm.
having tough conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and being prepared.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. It's all about that accountability. And like you said, just communicating.
And if you ain't giving nothing back, you just need to say, I ain't giving nothing back, because that's what
Right.
I'm gonna say.
That's right.
I'm gonna
Do
say.
you? Do you, right? As we always like to say as we wrap our shows, this has been good. And this is what I like about this episode, is that this is for any, relationship. Before you enter one, if you're thinking about it, if you're in the midst of it, you said it so well. You just have to communicate. You have to have those tough conversations. You have to have accountability. So,
Yes.
with that, we're going to wrap this episode. This was so good. As always, we'll see you next time. Be you, do you, love you.
Bye.